I thought we'd seen it all. I was up here 2 weeks ago when the lightning storms hit. I've been in a lot of lightning storms, but that was like a war zone. And it made me wonder, what else could happen to this state? We're probably overdue for a good earthquake. I didn't want to say it, but in 1906 or 1812, we certainly had some interesting issues. But this idea of borrowing at a very low rate is a very strong argument unless we have deflation and we find ourselves paying with more expensive dollars alone in the future, then it will have backfired on us. And I have not heard this legislature talk about as much debt as we have in the last few months. And we're talking about asking employees to cut their pay, but all we did was give them furloughs that they could bank and then they could cash out later. That's borrowing. We told them that they don't have to pay into their OPEBs, their other post-employment benefits. That's another increasing debt that's close to $90 billion. We're talking about having corporations prepay their income taxes in sort of a certificate idea. We're bouncing around so many ideas on debt, and we need to step back and look at what has California done to try to electrify this state. And we've done some things in response to climate change, which I appreciate, but to say that hydro and nuclear are not renewable, and then to force wind, solar, mirror farms, which are, I won't even go down that road. And then we inform the IOUs that they've got to do all these things. And then what do? They defer maintenance. What else? Is there being yanked back and forth? And that gives us these transmission lines that are now old and frayed and need to be repaired. So I would say that Sacramento has not been proactive. It hasn't looked at the big picture. And this measure, this bill is reactive, and it saddles our children due to Sacramento's lack of foresight. And it's a little frustrating because we're constantly yanking the IOUs with a chain around their neck, pulling them this way and pulling them that way. And all it's proven is that central planning is a joke, and it's a sad joke. So now the solution is extending a surcharge, which is tantamount to a tax increase. And that is not the kind of answer we should be giving to our constituents. This is not a good bill. It would seem more reasonable to prepare a comprehensive plan, dropping or maybe postponing certain ideologies, and run IOUs like they're supposed to be run without constantly whipsawing what should be and should have been a reasonable and realistic process to properly electrify California. And for those reasons and more, I am opposed to this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chair.